Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Where the Mind Wanders with Spoons and Joe. Say hi, Spoons.
Hey there.
And you're probably catching us on our YouTube channel, most likely, where we usually put out a new episode every Monday at 3:30. 3:30. Is it 3 o'clock or 3:30? I think it's 3:30, right?
I think it's 3:30.
Yeah, let's just say 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So we did take another week off through the summer in particular. We're not as much as the sticklers on the actual putting out an episode, but we at least seem to manage to put one out every other week. So I was telling you, maybe we should just make a bi-weekly show into the summer's over and we could breathe again. Well, I could breathe again anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
took a week off and here we're back again with episode 35.
Oh, I don't know what number we're on. Is it 25?
Is it 25?
I think it's 25.
Oh, okay. I think I jumped 10 episodes ahead then.
I think so.
Yeah.
We'll double check. It'll be in the title.
Yeah, it'll be in the title. By the time you're looking at it, we'll figure that part out anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, we're just being a little loosey goosey on the schedule, which is fine, I feel like. We want to show up when we have stuff to talk about. And I don't know, summer's been sort of all over the place, it feels like. So between the heat and then just life stuff, it's just like, yeah, I feel like it's fine if we show up every other week or whatever schedule we wind up taking. It'll be fine. That's the nice part about having the flexibility of this.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, one thing we were discussing, I guess we could use as a jumping off for this episode is there's so many things rearranging and changing out there for the both of us, maybe for all our viewers as well. Um, don't know
Hmm.
what that's all about. I mean, life's all about changes. We were just talking about that too. That it is life, so to speak, is things are going to change. And sometimes things change very rapidly for a duration of time. It seems to be one of those times. Uh, People leaving our lives and new opportunities and creativity seems to be a part of this for whatever reason. That was something we were discussing as well. So I was wondering
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on all that?
I don't know. Like, the more we talked about it, like, we're having a lot of personal things going on. But I also see it like in pretty much all of my friends, and even like some of the people I follow that you can kind of tell. It seems like everybody's having these big jumps, and stuff is like significantly better in a sense for them. Like, projects are starting to take off, and this, that, and the other thing. So it's kind of interesting, like how big of a shift everybody seems to sort of be having. I mean, like with my personal stuff, it's kind of crazy because I've dropped into a job category that I've never thought about before, and I've had two different jobs line up that I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I started working on this licensure stuff for this job that I'm going to do, and the guy that started me on the process fell off the map. And then this other guy shows up, and it's this interview that I had applied for months ago for a different position in the company, but they wanted to interview me for the same thing that I was already going for a licensure for. And he had me on the spot. It was just, there's all these weird scenarios happening, and it's like, it's almost one of those things where it's like you feel like whatever you did you couldn't lose at, as far as like how things are lining up for this particular job opportunity for me. It's like, it doesn't feel like there's a way I could actually mess it up because another way it's just going to continue to try to manifest. So there's those kind of things happening, but then there's also sort of this other thing that's happening because I've talked about this a few times over the last couple of months as I've been really working on some codependence sort of things. And as you're healing that sort of stuff, people around you start rearranging again
Mm.
because your needs are different. And there's some of those people that I really didn't want to rearrange. And I did different things to try to keep it from happening, I feel like, and it happened anyway. So there's that kind of stuff that kind of comes with it as well. That's not so fun, but it's part of it. You can't work on things and grow and expect to keep everybody. It's just, you know, and that's not even to say I've fully lost people. It's more like it just changes everything. And that's, I don't know. That's always interesting because it always seems to like sneak up and get you, or it does me. Because I'm like, I didn't see that coming. But then I don't know. It's interesting. But I like I said, I feel like those are the things I'm seeing personally, but I feel like I'm seeing it other places as well. Just like, I don't know, it's interesting. I don't know. What do you think? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
babbling.
No, it's I've been noticing that my whole life is that as you change, whatever it is, your opinions, who you are, on and on and on, is the world reflects that. Like the people around you reflect that, and if they don't, they tend to propel the same way. Like there's, the quote law of attraction. There's also the law of repulsion. It's the same thing. And I don't know. It's hard to articulate. I was trying to before we went on air. Is sometimes it feels like there's once the gravity of it of what used to be as gets to a certain like you know, diminished amplitude or whatever, like it's not as strong, things start breaking loose or
Mm,
the new frequency that you are activating as it's growing, then that starts pulling in new things. So there's always a give and a take, and life is always changing, and people are always changing. If you change yourself, you definitely change everything around you, people, interest, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's just stuff in life that fluctuates. People may not have been anything you changed per se, I guess, but it's just, everybody else also has that going on. So things are always changing.
mhm.
People are always leaving, friends, colleagues, etc. And it's sometimes not that easy um, to let it go. There's a lot behind it that starts surfacing as you're like emotionally dealing with it. And yeah, but as they say, time heals all wounds. So, or if there is a unpleasant feeling, it usually goes away with time, as long as
Yeah.
you're not intentionally clinging.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was one particular situation that came up where it's just one of those things where I don't feel like I'm any different, but um, I had a conversation with somebody and they were telling me how this thing that I was doing was bothering them or hurting them. And I could tell it was actually causing them pain. And that was not what I was trying to do. And I'm just like, we just don't talk about this anymore. That's the only solution I have because I'm like, I can't just sit and listen when I feel like there's certain things coming up, and it's a situation where I can see there's actually some room to do something different, but it's never your choice. Like, I'm not trying to say this is what you have to do kind of thing, but I'm also seeing like even having the conversation with the person is not productive, and I don't want to cause them that harm, but I also know I can't hold my tongue. So it's like just recognizing, okay, well, we just can't talk about this thing, and then having to deal with that sort of situation. It's not fun. And I don't know, I think I struggle with that some because it's like, am I just being a bad friend? Should I be able to do this thing where I just sit and listen and don't say anything? But I think it's more, I don't know. I feel like I am in the right to say I don't have the capacity for that because I knew I didn't. Whether that's right or wrong, it's being honest about who I am. So at this moment in time. So it's not always fun to have to tell people what they don't want to hear.
Yeah, true that.
Um, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff like that, though. It's like I still have a little bit of that stuff in me where there's a lot of things that I used to see as nice that I would do for nice things. And then I've realized how damaging those things are. There's a difference between nice and kind. Like,
Mm,
I'm not going to tell you that I like something that I don't like. Just not. I'll tell you in a kind way that the things that I um, don't like about it or whatever, or I'll find something, some other avenue to go at, but I don't just say, oh, yeah, I do like that when I don't mean it.
mm.
And I guess that's hard for some people to deal with. But nice in the moment is not really a good thing. I don't feel like if you don't mean it. I don't I can't think of a good example at the moment, but just we'll say like some artwork or something that you ask somebody for an opinion on and they tell you they love it. And then 6 months goes by and they tell you they didn't like it. I was just like, I don't, why did you tell me you liked it six
Yeah,
months ago if you didn't like it then? And it I was using that to help me kind of make a decision because I'm not great with art things, and I was wanting to get a lot of different feedback. And that doesn't, this one person's opinion doesn't invalidate all the other people I asked, and they liked it. Um, but it did kind of make me wonder, well, should I ask this person anything? Because I can't actually know if they're telling me what they really think or what they think I want to hear. And I'm not saying things in an unkind way. I'd rather know what you really think about something. I don't really have a lot of time for people
yeah,
that want to tell me things that they don't mean
yeah.
because
It's
I feel
one.
like that's, yeah, unkind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's one thing I also don't understand is it's one thing I don't think I possess, and when I do it, I know I'm doing it consciously. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's been a while. I mean, I used to feel kind of bad. I used to buy weed from a neighbor that lived under me, for example. Like this is a
Mm-hmm.
while, long time ago. This guy 9 years ago. And he used to be a DJ, and he would play this like obnoxious like music under my floor all the time. But he used to sell weed, and it was almost like it was like like sucking up, saying, "Oh yeah, I liked your music," like, and that was like totally not true. But Like I had a motive there, and I knew it was going on at the time. I even felt bad about it at the time. Like, why am I like? This is not me. Like lying. Like,
Yeah.
and uh, yeah. But I could think of like things like that through my life. But it's like I know I'm doing it at the time, and I usually even correct it pretty quickly because it just feels um not true, not authentic, and
Mhm.
so it's usually not
Yeah.
something I don't really actually I don't really make friends because I don't hold back usually. I might stay silent, but I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. Um,
Yeah.
but like I have a like to me it's like a similar kind of issue. It's like sometimes I don't want to say no. Like if it's even just something I really do not want to do, I don't want to say no.
Hmm.
I get to the point where it's like, all right, it blows up, so to speak. As I pushed it down, pushed it down, pushed it down, and then it's like eventually it's like I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not. And then it's like I guess when I was studying MBTI, INFJ, INTJ, it is something called the door slam, like where you just like cut contact because it's just easier. I guess I don't know. I've noticed
Hmm.
done that my whole life, and
Yeah.
yeah, I can think of some examples like now, like Saturdays at work, like they're kind of like volunteer based. But I reluctantly agreed, and I was like, "Oh, it's extra money, whatever." But it's getting worse and worse every month, and I really dread doing it, and I don't have to do it. So I'm like, I find myself at a point now is when I show up on Saturday, I'm just in a shit mood because I know I don't want to be there, and I don't have to be there, and I'm there anyway, and it's really the money is kind of peanuts when you really think about it. After taxes, I don't know, maybe I pull 40 from a Saturday on like 40 euros, 45 bucks, dollars. I'm like, it's not really worth it. Like, I think at this point, I'd rather pay the $45 to like just sleep in.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really want to do it. And I've noticed that. I'm like, why won't I just say no? Like, it's extra, what, 80 bucks a month to do the two Saturdays. But now I'm like thinking, all right, I kind of have to pay a couple things. But when I get back from vacation in October, am I even going to do Saturday anymore? I don't want to do Saturday anymore. I'd rather just
Right.
have my weekend again. But it's like things like that
Yeah.
I struggle with, like saying
Hmm.
no when you made a commitment, because I kind of feel like it's not even about the money or anything. It's that I made a commitment telling certain people that I'd be there and show up twice a month, blah, blah, blah. And it's like at this point, I'm getting to the
Right.
point I'm like, do I even give a shit anymore? Do I even care
Right.
anymore if they what they think about it? Because I usually torment myself, um,
Hmm.
not saying
They
no
probably
or
haven't thought much about it either.
yeah,
They're just like, it's not really that big of a deal to them, but you're making it a big deal for you,
yeah,
kind of thing.
probably.
It's hard though. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've noticed that about you, about the commitment stuff. It's like, yeah. And that's why I often check in on you because I'm like, we need to have like flexibility and this kind of thing. So, like, when we do every other week or whatever, I'm like, this is great. It's
Yeah,
like showing like you're still committed, but like, I'm not even like questioning any of that. But it's like, it's amazing to see you be like, okay, I don't have the capacity for that this week and I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
take the week off. I think that's great.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with that with you at all when it comes to the show. I mean, the
Hmm.
only commitment thing that ever happened with the show that I kind of was starting to dread was doing all that editing and putting the music in and all that, and then no one like every month we seem to get less viewers. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is like a couple extra hours out of my life, and it's yeah, it's not like it was hard. It was just very time consuming. So eventually, I was like, you know what? Like they either like the show or they're not, but the music, all that crap is not important, at least until I can figure out how to do this quicker and make the file
Right.
size smaller. But yeah,
Hmm.
eventually, like the same thing like I was talking about, like attention with that was building, and eventually I just told you like I'm not going to edit it anymore. It's smaller file
Yeah.
size, just upload it, and it's easier, and we could, it doesn't suck the fun out of the show. Like like
Right.
we've
Which
never,
is the
yeah,
point.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
but
like I'm always trying to make sure I check in on you because I never want us to be like, okay, this is what we're doing, and then you not be able to change course when it starts to get whatever. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't want you to be regretting this. Because the whole point, in my opinion, for this whole thing is just for our therapy
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever you want
it's
to call it.
with that understanding is like why it's not really an issue. Like the show has never been an issue. It
Hmm.
doesn't mean I always want to show up. Some days it's easier. It depends if, we have anything we want to talk about, or, how hot it was that day and how much work I did that day, blah, blah, blah. There's days where I'm like, but sometimes I show up, sometimes I write you. I'm like, can we skip a week? But
Hmm.
it's really not too much of an issue, but there's a lot of other things like work related and, um, like life stuff that I still like
Yeah.
don't want to tell someone no, especially if I made a commitment and that I feel like they're counting on me. Now it's like now I gotta suck it up. I gotta suck it up until it builds up too much where I just door slam and fucking jump ship, so to speak. But
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to my best not to get to that point anymore. Like I said, like even Saturday, it's like I'll do two more in August, and then I go on vacation. When I get back, I just won't go Saturday anymore. I'll just tell them I have
Yeah.
stuff to do on the weekends, and I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Things change. So, yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Um, yeah, I think everybody, I don't know. I used to have a lot of trouble. I don't really have the trouble saying no necessarily. Like I have to be sure that I'm going to be able to like do whatever it is. So I give a lot of maybes, which
Yeah.
probably annoys people. But I'm more of a I'll tell you maybe more often than anything probably because I don't want to overcommit and I don't want to commit to things that I'm going to be upset about later. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty big on maybes.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, you're not really.
The phrase that like encompasses it for me is I don't want to. I don't want to do this, especially if I don't have to
Yeah.
do this. Like,
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of things that I don't want to do that I actually do. I just won't because I don't know. There's just not like um, I just don't have the energy for it. Like I just don't want to say yes to things that don't make sense
yeah,
or just yeah. I just won't do it. It has to be some real reason for me to say something like that, and there's not. Most everything I can figure out a way to like I mean, if it's something to help somebody out, that's different. But like, if it's just something about myself, it's easy to go, nah, I'll figure out another way to do that.
I think that's getting better with me as I get older, but it's still something I seem to struggle with. Like, it's not being, I'm not a people pleaser in the way of saying things I don't mean for the most part,
Yeah.
but I am somebody who commits and doesn't want to let people down, and it's, I take on that burden, so to speak, until it builds up. And it
Hmm.
always does. So, um, mm,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I suppose there's definitely times that I've done that. Like I had somebody that I used to give them their shots on a weekly basis. They had some kind of shots that they wanted, and they didn't want to learn how to do it themselves. And Their family didn't want to learn how to do shots. So I was like, okay, well, I can give you an injection. And then, at some point I moved and I still did it for a little bit longer. And I was just like, I'm really going out of my way here to help this person out. And I had to say, you're going to have to find somebody else. Either I'm going to have to show somebody else how to do it to help you out, or you're going to have to start going to a doctor's office because I can't commit to this every week for the rest of your life. Because when I initially committed to it, it was supposed to be like for 6 months. But I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't mind to give you weekly shots for 6 months. That's a lot, but it's not a big deal. But then it was like, oh, these are for the rest of my life. Like, I can't commit. I'm not going to commit to you in that capacity. I'm sorry. At some point, I think I did it for like a year and a half or something. It just got to a point. I'm like, yeah, gotta say no. Hmm, it's interesting. Oh, this may be kind of bad. The train's coming through.
Oh,
I didn't
good.
think about this part about parking here.
No, it's
Maybe
a
it won't be
very
too bad.
no. Zoom is pretty good about cutting all that extra background noise out. I think I heard an initial horn and then
Oh,
it cut it out. So,
well, it's already gone through. They only had like 3 or 4 cars on it, which I can't say I've ever seen that here. But anyway, it's like, oh no, because it's about the time of day the big train would come through. I hadn't thought about that where I was parked. I had to just, kind of make a quick stop somewhere because our timeline sort of changed up a little bit. I was like, oh man, I got to find some place that's got a good signal. So, but I've parked right here at the train tracks. Anyway, yeah, I've been out with my family today. For this new job, I had to go and buy more professional clothes, and I'm not great at picking that stuff out. My sister's really good at those sort of things. So it's like, will you just come help find stuff? She did. So I now have about a week and a half's worth of clothes. So I've got enough to like do for a little bit. So, and so, yeah, I hate that kind of stuff. It's just like shopping, man.
yeah,
It's a headache.
I know that. I don't shop. See, there's like no one to commit
Yeah,
to on that. And I told Sandra like I don't shop like when we first met. So um
yeah.
I get my clothes from Christmas. So like
Hmm.
occasionally I order like a
Yeah.
pack of t-shirts or underwear from like Amazon, but I like very rarely, but I get all my clothes from for Christmas. I
Yeah.
not a shopper.
Yeah. It's not my thing.
Mm.
It was so funny because we went and I was the only one that bought anything today. But like I said, I got everything that I needed. Well, outfit wise, I still have to figure out shoes. It's a whole other, which a whole other torturous thing. Women's shoes. It's like dress shoes, man. I don't know. I may just buy like orthopedic, some sort of something, and say I've got some kind of foot condition because I swear to God, they make women's dress shoes the most uncomfortable thing ever.
Mm.
So it's just not something.
Yeah, I don't think dress shoes are ever built for comfort, though. I can't say I've ever had a pair of dress shoes that were comfortable.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I just, typical INFP. I'm gonna try to find the most comfortable thing. I can't help it. Just like, why torture yourself? I don't get it.
Well, I mean,
I want things that are functional and comfortable.
this is where YouTube can come in handy, actually. I've never looked for shoes, but I'm sure I guarantee it. There's videos Just type in like dress shoe that's comfortable, that's stylish, well, whatever. All everything you're looking for. I guarantee somebody made a
Mhm.
video reviewing certain dress shoes that are comfortable, that still look
Probably.
good. Yeah. I do that
Yeah.
all the time for um like when I bought a new pair of headphones like a month ago. I was like looking at all the
Hmm.
reviews for everything. Um, so if you name it, people make reviews. There's YouTube is a huge reservoir of like people doing reviews for literally
Hmm.
everything. So that'd be where I would look.
Yeah. I'll do that. And actually, since you said that, it made me think I probably need to ask the AI stuff too. They can probably tell me. I mean, it's amazing some of these
Man.
questions I come up with to ask the AI, and it's just like,
Mm,
oh, okay, that's much better than what I would have come up with. It's I was so resistant that for such a long time, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I can use that information.
yeah,
It's fine. You
I
have to
found
be.
something as well with AI. If you need to find a song, like ask ChatGPT with the minimal information you have, and it seems to find it immediately. There's this song that I was like, I get obsessed if I can't figure out what the frick the song is. I'm trying to look it up on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know the name of the song. I just
Mm,
know it goes do 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 like at this point, and or I just know like this fragment of a lyric, and I was like going through Google and YouTube, and I literally probably spent like an hour. I couldn't find the stupid song. All the songs they kept recommending were not the song I was looking for. So I'm like, I have Chat
hmm.
GPT. I never use it. Let me ask it, and immediately I found the song instantly.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's it's crazy. Yeah, like for the project that I'm on for, I think it's in October. So I'm teaching that yoga. It's like having to do with the chakras and yoga poses, and it's kind of a meditation thing. This thing that I've been playing with for a couple of months. So that event has went live, and they're selling tickets for it now. Um, but I had to write like a bio, and I had to write like stuff about the class or whatever. And so I just put it into like Gemini, which is the AI that I use, and it cleaned up all of the stuff and made it much more presentable. So that's what I ended up submitting for for that course that I'm doing. I'm just like, actually, that makes it sound a whole lot better than what I wrote. And, I feel pretty good about my writing skills. It's not even that. It was just like, I don't know. It just puts it together in such a way. So it's a great tool to kind of utilize. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't become too reliant on it. I guess we are kind of reliant on computers and stuff anyway. It's just another level.
yeah,
But yeah, that's a good idea. I'll definitely think on that. The other thing is just like, I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. Like I also have to buy a new laptop, and I'm not excited about that because
mm,
apparently I can't use my MacBook for this job. It needs to be something that's not a Mac. So it's like, okay. Now I got to start researching laptops and figuring all of this stuff out. And
mm,
it's just always something.
yeah. That's that.
So yeah, I had a friend that ran some of the stuff through Chat GPT already for me and got some options, but I'm like, I need to further refine on that. So we'll see. Having to put out a lot of money before I even get started on this thing. It's like a big investment. So hopefully it all pays off. We'll
Mm,
see. I don't see why it wouldn't. I don't know. Life feels kind of like I said, ever since about a month ago when I set that intention to kind of grow community, all the different opportunities that have happened to grow community since then. It's kind of insane.
Hmm.
And I mean, this job, it's all about networking and community. So
Yeah.
it just kind of falls in line with all of this other stuff. So, so I don't know. All these things are just kind of coming together. I start my yoga stuff this weekend, the new teacher training I'm doing. So that starts Saturday, which I guess will already have happened by the time this is released. So, um, so that'll be good. I know there's at least 6 of us in that, so that's another community aspect. So I don't know. Curious to see where all of it goes. Just I don't know. It feels like the world's wide open at this point. Kind of getting back to what we were talking about in the inning, where it just feels like the creativity, the access is very easy to do creative things right now. Not finishing anything. I can't finish any of the projects that I've started, it doesn't seem like. But like
Yeah.
the start, oh man, I
Hmm.
have started like 50, probably easily 50 different things in the last 2 months.
Hmm.
And they're in various forms. And they just get to a point where I don't know where to take them next. A lot of the writing projects, anyway. It's like I have to wait for something else to happen to know where that's going to go. And I have no idea when that is,
Yeah. I
which is
feel you there.
kind of, yeah, it can be kind of frustrating, but it's also like, well, it's just not the time for it. And I'm just accepting that.
Yeah.
It's a time to create, but not a time to finish. So it's
Yeah. Yeah. It's something I can relate to because, but I've been stuck there for like 5 years now. Is I start stuff. I go through these bursts of creativity. I start many projects. I might even get like 80% done. And then I just abandon it and move on to something else. Um,
yeah.
like I was telling you off air, I don't think it's a total waste of time because I am developing skills like learning to mix and
Mm-hmm.
certain production, like little tricks you could do for the audio, whatnot. And so I learned some stuff, and then I open one of my projects, and then I try to apply it. Um, Usually, eventually, I get it the hang of it and do it successfully. So now I have this skill or like a tool in the toolbox I can reach for later, I guess. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I really would like to finish some stuff, um, make an actual song.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's not the right time. Um, but I don't know. Then again, I don't actually try. So I, whatever I want to do that day, like today, I was like working on some reverb settings and how to apply reverb and tailor it to the whole mix. And so I was watching some tutorials, and then I opened the project I've been working on, and I was messing around with that for a while, for an hour or two. And I think I did pretty well with what I learned, but I still only have like a fragment of a song. Like I don't have a whole song. I don't have anything I can show anybody. I could show people like this fragment of a song that I've developed so far, and it sounds pretty cool. It sounds pretty good. It's got a nice sound to it, in my opinion, at this point, but it's not a song. It's just some loops or
Yeah.
fragment.
I, as we're kind of sitting here talking about this, I'm wondering. I wonder if there's some sort of intention setting that could be done that would help move it that direction. Like, I don't know what that would be exactly.
You know,
Because I feel like the intention I said just kind of unleashed this whole thing about ideas and and things coming up and coming out, but it doesn't feel like it has like the other side of it where it grounds things back in. So I don't know. Wondering about that. It's probably something I should think about before this weekend. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because it's like maybe that is maybe my intention's not complete if I'm not completing these things. Maybe it's not just not the right time, but maybe it's not the right. Maybe I haven't set the right vibe or something.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, no, you're probably
It's
right.
not even.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have to think on that. Um, and it's the perfect time to kind of reconsider that because, like I said, we're doing kind of our opening stuff where um, we're getting real clear on our intentions. And my whole thing was the last month, the one I said a month ago. It took me weeks to be able to get to what I set because there was so much junk in the way that I had to kind of figure out and move past in order to get to that intention. And so it probably just means I need to further refine something. And it's always interesting. There's always something to further refine, though, right? And that's kind of the thing with this stuff. It's like there's always another way to look at it. There's always something else to consider.
I guess it's one comforting thing on this issue that I was just talking about is I watch a lot of music producers online, some well-known ones, some of them studio producers, whatever. But I watch a lot of these channels, and a lot of them have made videos stating they had the same problem as I have now. Like, oh, you've been spending a couple years working on music, but you have no finished things to show anybody, blah blah blah. And what they always say is, well, you got to learn that mixing is down the road, and you shouldn't start mixing stuff until you have a song. Like, first you need to have the song, and then
Oh,
need the arrangement, and then you need to, um, then you start mixing and mastering all that. But you shouldn't like get focused in on that aspect because you don't have a full song to mix, and even if like you mixed it perfectly and you started making the song, you're gonna have to like unbuild that house that you just built because as you start adding stuff to it, like you have to like it's not gonna work anymore. Like you have to come up with a whole new strategy to mix it all together. And so it
yeah.
makes sense. It's just I don't seem to apply it. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, but I'm just gonna open this project and mix it, even though it's only like a minute and a half of a fragment of something. Like, uh, but
Yeah.
it seems to
I
be a
don't know.
problem that a
The
lot of people have. So
Yeah. I I see what they're saying there, but also it's like you're learning a skill there. Um, so, if you don't feel like you can write the music at this moment, then why not work on something like that
yeah,
that you're going to need down the road? So I can see both sides for sure. You just have to kind of see where you are on things and go with it. I don't know.
yeah, it's like
It's
they also say, oh,
fascinating.
set deadlines. You have to have a song released at a certain date, and I've tried that in the past. I remember I used to tell Alex I'd probably throw him nuts, and eventually he just gave up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have an album released this time next year. Like, and then that time next year came, I had nothing. Like, forget an album, I didn't even have a freaking single. Um, I had tons of projects of
Yeah.
various completion, but um,
Mm.
it's I don't know. They always say, oh, set a deadline, but the deadlines don't seem to work on me. They only work if I feel obligated by somebody else to do it. But this is just my creativity, my fun, my art or whatever. So I
Yeah.
I don't prioritize it the way I would if I told somebody else I'm going to do something. Like I did make it like a
Hmm.
intro song for my friend Jeff and his another buddy of his. Were doing a podcast like a year and a half ago or whatever. I wasn't really working on music much, but Jeff asked me, "Hey, can you make this like intro song? I want it modeled off of this particular song from Iggy Pop or something like that." And so I listened to it. I'm like, yeah, I guess I could do something like that. And I spent a few days working on this, and it sounds good. And I gave it to Jeff, but it was like because I was doing it for somebody else, like I kind of had that fire under my butt to
Yeah.
do it, and I did complete it. I mean, it was an intro song.
Mhm.
It wasn't very long, a minute and a half or whatever it was, um, but it's a full track with vocals and everything.
Yeah.
That's usually where I give up on the project when it comes to like, oh, now it's time to record my vocals. Shit, I don't have lyrics. Shit, I don't have this. I don't have that, and then I just don't make the vocals.
Yeah.
But with
So
that,
it sounds like you just, I don't know, maybe you need to make yourself your client.
how you do that?
Well, say, I don't know. I don't know. You gotta like assign yourself a project with a deadline and not one that's like a year away, like a small thing.
Yeah.
You gotta small chunk it, I think. If you really want to like change it, pretend it's for like somebody different or ask your
Mm,
friends for a recommendation. I don't know.
mm,
There's a lot of different ways you could do it. I would just like try to reshape it if you really want to like change that. But also, I mean, it kind of just sounds like you're having fun
yeah.
with your creativity. But if it really is getting to a point where it frustrates you that you don't finish the projects, that could be one way, just like saying this is what I need, this particular thing, and then putting a deadline on it. Pretend it's somebody else.
Yeah.
No, no, that's a very INFP solution, isn't it? Like, just pretend.
I'll get something done eventually, I guess. I don't know how I will, or maybe it's just not time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I have enough tool. I mean, there's always more to learn. There's never, even
Mm-hmm.
the people who've been doing it 50 years are still learning stuff. Um,
Well,
it's just,
things are always changing too. So,
mm, no, I think I got all the skills. I got a good ears at this point. Like when I started, my ears, I couldn't hear what the hell people were talking about, like with certain frequencies or compression or on and on and on. But at this point, it's like I can hear it. Like I immediately listen to
yeah,
it, be like, okay, I know the problem. I know how to fix that. And um, but so I have come a long way. It's just I haven't completed anything yet. Sometimes that bothers me.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
even if I could get
that's,
one thing out of a
I'm,
month, that'd
I'm,
be perfect. But
yeah, yeah. I mean, one thing a month, that's not drastically impossible or anything like that. It's probably not even pushing things too hard.
yeah,
Yeah. I think about that. I was like, for writing projects, I'm sure if somebody like wanted a particular something written, I can figure out a way to finish those projects just because there would be a deadline on it. I kind of feel your pain on that. But right now, I'm not in a place where I feel like anything is something I want to really look at. The train's back. So anyway, but yeah, it's writing is just always interesting, I suppose. Like, I don't, I have like a couple of books that I've been working on, book ideas, and I have in different levels of completion. But like, they're nowhere nearly close to like being a completed project. It's sometimes I wonder if I'm ever gonna finish any of them.
Yeah,
Like, I
that's
think
kind
it
of how
was
I feel.
better for a, yeah, I think it was better for a little while when I was publishing a blog and we just sit down for a couple of days and write small projects just to kind of keep that energy flowing. It felt like I was able to complete stuff more back in those days. I feel like I write even more now than I did back then, but I just don't publish anything anymore. And it seems like, I don't know, there's some component there that sort of drives you to want to finish stuff. Mm, it's definitely something to think about when I have some time this week. Mm. I don't know. Was there something else that we were going to talk about today? Trying to
Mm,
think.
no, I think we covered everything. This the only thing I I still have to watch that interview you were telling me about. It's the video link I found earlier was I don't think it was an interview or the one you were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. I'll have to resend you that one.
Yeah. But
Um,
other than that,
yeah, I did. Yeah, I kind of want to get your opinion on that stuff, but we'll talk about that another day. Like the whole true crime stuff, man. I feel like we got a couple of views off of that um, from people searching some of the crime names of the podcast we did last time. But I don't necessarily. It's not that I don't want to talk about that stuff, but I'm like, I don't want that to be like every week. That's
yeah,
too heavy.
I don't think we would have to worry about it being every week.
Yeah,
Periodic theme,
yeah,
maybe,
true.
but yeah, we're not going to do that every
Mm,
week. I don't see that.
no, yeah, but yeah, I do want to get your take on uh, that particular interview because it was an unedited interview, and when you're looking at the behavior, it's always better to have those kind of interviews versus the ones where they chop them up and then you're like, you don't even know if that's actually the answer to the question that they just played.
Mm.
It's so chopped up. Anyway, looks like it's about to storm here too.
All right. Well, that's Mother Nature giving us the cue. I think we got an hour anyway, so we can wrap it up.
All right,
All right.
sounds good.
So thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Where the Mind Wanders with Spoons and Joe. You can catch us on YouTube at 3:30 Eastern Standard Time every Monday, where we release a new episode most of the time. Um, we also have a Telegram channel of the same name where you can watch or listen to rather the MP3 files. So if you like to if you're just an audio file like myself or something like that, you could just, Telegram's awesome. I'll keep pushing Telegram to the end because it's such a good thing, but very fringe still, I think. But we do have a Telegram channel, and we release pretty much after, usually a few days after we do the drop on YouTube. We put it up there, or it gets up there
Sometimes,
eventually. And
eventually, they're all there at the moment.
yeah, true that. They're all there right now if you want to go back and binge watch them or binge listening to them. So,
Yeah.
so thank you guys again for tuning in, and hope to see you again. Please leave a comment, hit that like button, subscribe, and to next time, join us again where the mind wanders. Take care.